The word apertura is originally associated with cameras. It's the lens open-close rate measure while filming. Every lens Smart 4 characteristic has an English letter F, which shows if a camera is ready to film during nighttime. Second thing coming to mind when you hear apertura is the anatomy, and this very word is used to identify aperture in a body by medics. For example, you can say chest upper aperture syndrome, and the medic will understand you right away. Today we're having Apertura active speakers, a French brand well known in certain circles. It's safe to assume that the founders' great idea was to create an acoustic system that would open apertures, gates to other dimensions, where music is presented on a totally different level. Let's figure it out whether the engineers headed by Christian Ivan succeeded in creating competitive active speakers, and why these cheeky Frenchmen, I just can't put this another way, ask 2700,000 rubles for a 14-kilogram speaker if made in the land of cinema, Van Gogh, Exupery and ballet. Everything is not so obvious in these simple on the surface AS, plenty of technology is hidden in them. Jumping ahead, they remind me of Dearly Loved by Me PMC 2023 in this regard, which I had at my home for several years. I know everything about this English brand acoustics. So Apertura has a similar form factor to the 23 in size and design. It's just a phase splitter port is hidden in the back, and by contrast with the transmission line that goes through the 20's body and ends on the front bottom near the base. Smooth to the touch and elegant in design, they easily fit in whatever interior and can play in a room of 10-25 square meters. According to the manufacturer, it has a 16 cm high-frequency, low-frequency speaker. By the way, because of the tactical measures, diffuser has been borrowed from more top-of-the-class models, Ammonia and Edena. This material is made of textile polypropylene strips, should supposedly be firmer and easier than paper, plus this solution has good damping capacity. Unlike its elder, Sensa has a more budget high-frequency ring-shaped speaker, but not a strip tweeter. On the other hand, we all know that the latter has quite a significant drawback: vertical dispersion. That means that tweeters should be on ears level, and that could be a problem taking the small footprint into consideration. The speakers are not that high. On the other hand, if a person is short, the best choice would be small speakers with belt filters. I've already imagined a dwarf coming to the speakers and having the best audio experience imaginable. Well, I'm looking at this high-frequency speaker and this solution is quite ingenious. Take a look. No, take a closer look. A brand face plug bullet is the result of a technical solution. According to the wine and cheese lovers, is the advanced frequency feature both on the upper limit 40 kHz and on lower frequencies, which makes connection of low and mid frequencies easier and makes general sound impression more integral. Face splitter port is humble, it's plastic, smooth and plastic to the touch. To my mind, terminals are of ordinary quality, not expensive for sure. Also, it's rather hard to switch wires without any lightning. It's quite a quest to find plus and minus on them. They could have done something more expensive and handier because, well, not expensive. Not expensive at all. Representatives from Apertura have said that each speaker set is measured individually and crossover value is regulated according to the gain data. Quite a good approach. Crossovers themselves are not typical here. Of course, they are assembled manually and they are called Dream. They have the printed circuit board as many as 140 microns. Moreover, the elements are put in such a way that the static is reduced to the maximum and music is not distorted. Talking of which, I know lots of people who like listening to distortions and sound material that is slightly different from the real one. I mean, the sound should be a little dirty, that's for fans of good tube sound. You can pelt me with rotten tomatoes and write comments that I don't understand a thing, but honestly speaking, I don't quite like tube sound for a couple of millions of rubles. Just take a look at this rounded body. Many acoustics engineers and designers has already understood that rounded body is an enemy of good sound. Smooth forms are meant to lessen transmission of vibration to the fullest, which bring dirtiness and unnatural vibe. Moreover, the panels themselves are rather thick. 18mm. Could have made them 20 to make it an even figure. These Frenchmen. The developers added 3 more panels in the body to increase stiffness and to make the body more solid and independent from vibrations produced by this low mid-frequency speaker. Let me put it this way, when I turned on music rather loud on these AS, there were some vibrations, but not that much. I think engineers have coped this task. Alright, let's come to rating. After a month of bench testing, I'd like to say the following. Cinema sound. These speakers are definitely not for movies. It makes no sense to build a home theater for it. Dynamics is not enough for blockbusters. Pacific Rim felt lame. Case was like an intelligent Tom Sawyer. Sounds produced by him were too delicate. John Wick 2 couldn't get me in by its sounds. That's natural enough, as the developers don't pretend to acoustics for cinema rooms. I couldn't find even a central channel in their product line, to say nothing of subs, so 5 out of 10 taking their price into consideration. But as for music, the situation is fundamentally different. The flow is extremely interesting, subtle at most, with aftertaste. When I had been listening to Sensa for 1 week, I was completely surprised by their strange and one-of-a-kind sound flow, which I didn't like. On the second week, I started to catch first notes of music pleasure. Coming to a month, I began realize what Apertura wants such big amount of money for. These AS were like Bordeaux ripe, wine that was taken to certain circumstances and good mood with right food. Great aftertaste, interesting flow, vocals is soft and light, even bubblegum pop by Elton John and Dua Lipa sound quite interesting and qualitative. Not to mention jazz music, flamenco sketches by Miles Davis, and John Coltrane was simply magnificent. Full immersion and completely different track presentation, which is quite well known by me. Did I like the style? Yes. Rock is not its cup of tea. The testing Deutschland by Rammstein sounded good, but there was no tide of pressure that throws you to the chair back. My favorite You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC wasn't impressive too, but all in all, Sensa presented this sound under its own delicate sauce, which is not for everyone's taste. To be fair, I remember the sound of PMC 2023, which cost even more than our centrals for today, so they didn't show great results in Rock 2. Well, you can't wipe physics nose, the speakers are small, don't expect great dynamics from them. Reliability, they are made in France, hand-assembled, each component is tested, ambitious approach. All these things give me the reason to assume these speakers will be inherited by your offsprings. As I understood, they don't have extended warranty, but they are made competently. Only the simple terminal is a question, the rest is great, and 10 out of 10. Design. 7 out of 10. I don't love how they look in red and lightwood. Black and white lac is a great decoration for interior for sure. They are elegant, stylish, with magnet grills that should be definitely dismounted. Coming back to 20 for the third time, where grills are made for the whole front part. In Sensa, grills only cover the speakers, and I don't quite like such a solution. 6 out of 10. Quality price. Only if they cost a little bit less, then maybe this model would become global. But there's a feel of caste and pedigree here. The sound presentation is really appealing. But you have to warm up it to understand. If you are a wealthy, experienced audiophile, while your listening room is not big and you don't play rock that often, usually listening to jazz, classics, blues and opera, then Apertura Sensa is definitely for you. Just don't forget to add a matching amplifier with real power of at least 80 watts per channel to them. Then, for sure, you'll be enjoying Sensa at long nights, evaluating their unique presentation over a glass of Clarence Delon Roche Medoc.